Madam President, the persistence since 1989 of the tyrannic governing regime of Uzbekistan under Mr. Karimov is a cancerous infliction on democracy. Mr. Karimov's regime is responsible for the implementation of a policy of terror and corruption in his country, with the victims being, of course, mainly the people of Uzbekistan. These people are subjected to arbitrary arrest and detention, to torture and to ill treatment. And while there have been numerous demands for democratic reform, both by the international community and by the EU, Mr. Karimov carries on taking no notice whatsoever. This reminds me of another individual who is governing his country in a similarly totalitarian manner and takes no notice of those who call for democratic reforms to be implemented. I am talking about King Abdullah of Saudi Arabia, a country where women have no right to vote and even no right to drive a car, and where serious human rights abuses are part of everyday life. In this respect, sadly, some EU governments show a double standards policy. They attack ferociously Mr. Karimov, and quite rightly so, but are very gentle indeed with Mr. Abdullah. In fact, recently Mr. Abdullah was given an extravagantly luscious welcome on a state visit to Britain and Italy. The main difference between Uzbekistan and Saudi Arabia is, of course, money, lots of it. And as long as Mr. Abdullah spends his billions in Britain and Italy, his involvement in gross violations of human rights and democratic institutions in his country can be conveniently overlooked, which I suppose is why, when I suggested that the situation in Saudi Arabia be discussed here today, it was turned down ceremoniously by almost all the groups. Perhaps more sensitivity might be shown next time, I hope. Thank you.